I'm so frustrated right now. I just saw some garbage post online from some dog trainers saying that if you want a calm dog, all you have to do is know how to turn down their excitement, as if it's that simple. This is a comment from a Facebook group that I am a part of. I'm not going to lie, I've just been kind of hiding out in the background of this Facebook group. This Facebook group honestly breaks my heart. It breaks my heart because it is filled with frustrated dog owners not getting any solutions for their reactive or fearful dogs. And I came across this comment and I wanted to talk a little bit about it. Add to that, I was chatting on the phone just yesterday with a good friend and fellow dog trainer about the same sort of thing. We were basically talking about how can we help more people? Like how we literally we are geeky dog trainers that when we chat, we talk about how can we help? How can we be more effective? Why isn't it working? Why isn't it working? And one of the things that stands out for a lot of us dog trainers is the reality that in the hands or in the presence of the dog trainer, so you're working with a dog trainer, and your dog trainer is giving you techniques, and while you're with the dog trainer and you're doing the techniques, things seem to be improving. But alas, when you take your dog home and you try to do this on your own, you get a much different result. And why is that? For many years, many dog trainers honestly would believe that it was because when people go home, they don't actually do the work. But I don't believe that to be the reason. My friend and I were talking about it. I thought this was a great topic. I want to talk about it today. Today, we're going to be talking about one powerful little word, one powerful little shift that you can do to turn this around. I'm hoping that from this discussion, you're going to be able to sort of get a new outlook on a concept that maybe, just maybe, you've been inundated with other opinions that has maybe clouded your judgment and therefore clouded your success with your fearful or reactive dog. That's the goal today. One powerful word, one powerful shift, and let's change the story for you and your dog. We're talking about that today here on the podcast. Let's get into it. Are you worried that your fearful dog may hurt someone or something else? Do you have to prepare just to take a walk around the block? Hi, I'm Tracy, and I too had that dog. The one that you could only walk at nighttime when no one else was around. And I felt ashamed, and oh gosh, I wish that people could just see the dog that I know and love. I wanted the confidence to be able to walk my dog and not have to worry about who or what was around the corner. And I kept telling myself that if I just keep doing obedience drills and distracting with treats, that things would get better. Until I found the secret. Fear is not something that you can train out of a dog. In this podcast, you will find tips to help build your dog's confidence naturally, communication and understanding to foster that trust, and how to address those fear-based behaviors effectively so that you can enjoy a stress-free life with your dog. So if you're ready, stop chopping those chicken wieners, grab your notebook, and let's get to it. Hello, and welcome to Beyond Obedience. It is Tracy. Oh my goodness, I am so glad that you are here with me today, my dog-loving friend. And I want to say, quick shout out because, oh wait, let me find it. Can I just say, before we get started, before we get into this topic, and this is a goodie, this is a topic, this is a powerful topic. It's controversial. It's got all the things. It's got all the things of a blockbuster movie all in one episode. We're going to get into it just one second. I just want to say how much I love my pen pals. I love my pen pals, and I am still the nerd that is so excited whenever I get to hear from people from around the world. I want to say, first of all, love me. If I pronounce your name wrong, I'm so sorry. I want to say it's pronounced Maite. I hope that's it. If it's not, let me know. Anyway, I got a note from my pen pal And she said, "Dear Tracy, just wanted to get in touch with you all the way from England." What? Yes. Oh, and then to say thank you so much for your work, and I wish I found you earlier. I recommend you to all my friends with dogs. Oh, it was so amazing. I am. I'm that person that's like, from England. Oh my gosh. I think it's amazing. I mean, it's the beauty of the internet and whatnot. Anyway, she also had an incredible idea for an episode, which I'm going to do. I put it on the list. Not today, but we will do it at some point in time. So thank you very much. Listen, if you and I are not already pen pals, let's be pen pals. It's very simple. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to go on BeyondObedience.ca, hang on the page for a second. I mean, read some stuff too. Like you can, I always say that you can also look at other stuff on the website, but hang on the page for a second. A little pop-up window is going to come up. It's going to say, "Do you want to be part of the Canine Chronicles?" You give me your name and your email. That's it. You're going to get a note from me every week, just checking in, saying hi, that kind of stuff. And you can write me back and you can tell me where you're from. And it's amazing. So thank you. Maite. Oh, I really hope that's it. Otherwise, you're going to be like, we can't be best friends anymore, Tracy. We can't be best friends and we can't pronounce my name. I really hope that's it. Anyway, thank you so much for responding and for your idea. I'm definitely going to talk about that on a future episode of the podcast. So thank you. Today I'm all fired up. I'm all fired up about this for a couple of reasons. I have been, as I mentioned in the opening, for a while now, I have been silently lurking in the background of a supportive group for reactive dogs on Facebook. And I have been lurking. I've been lurking and listening. I haven't been doing a lot of commenting because I really wanted to listen. And I'm really taking in what owners of reactive dogs are saying. And my heart, it hurts my heart so much. It also is alarming how many people are in that group. How many people are struggling in that group. So this comment, it stuck out to me because, as I mentioned, she said, "I'm so frustrated right now. I just saw some garbage post online from some dog trainer saying that if you want a calm dog, you have to know how to turn down their excitement. As if it's that simple. And from a trainer, no less. It boggles my mind how judgmental people and dog trainers can be to make such ignorant, broad-stroked statement like this." Then she goes on later to say, "I do all the things our trainer has taught us, but it's somehow my fault that my dog is excitable. This is crap, and it's no wonder reactive dog owners beat themselves up all the time for garbage posts like this. Thanks for coming to my vent session." And so I read that and I was like, oh, I get it. And I wanted to, start this episode off by saying, first and foremost, I don't think it's your fault. Now I'm the hero. Wait, I'm going to do the applause. Hey, I'm going to do the applause. I don't think it's your fault. I really don't think it's your fault. But what I will say, and I think the reason why sometimes people can perceive it that way, or dog trainers can perceive it that way, is because there are so many incidences where in the hands of the dog trainer, so if the dog trainer is holding your dog's leash, or even if it's just the presence of your dog trainer, if your dog trainer is still there, the dog is offering up different behaviors than when you are working on your own. And so the dog trainer believes the dog's making good progress, but then you go off on your own and all of a sudden you're not making the progress you think that you're making. And then you start to feel bad, but you're like, why is it that my dog trainer can do it? Or why does the dog act differently when my dog trainer is holding the leash, and all of that stuff? And there's a lot of things involved in that for sure. Right? And I mean, we can go into all the different components of that. The fact that the dog trainer is going to be more confident in general. And we know that that confidence is going to go down the leash and all of that stuff because the dog trainer knows what to do. They've had enough experience. They know what to do, all of that good stuff. And perhaps you're less confident. Maybe you have more confidence when the dog trainer is around because you have backup, whatever that case may be, that certainly does play a part into it. But when I have been reading so many posts in this Facebook group and talking to so many people, I also did a whole bunch of interviews a few months ago, asking reactive dog owners or fearful dog owners to give me 15 minutes of their time, and we sat down and we talked, and I was asking them, like, what's going on and how they feel. One of the overarching things, and this is where it's going to get controversial, my friends, so buckle in. This is my opinion. This is my opinion. But where I believe things really started to shift in dog training was when the marketing ploys of the positive only or purely positive dog training came into play. So I'm going to say, I'm going to do a very typical, like back in my day, when I was a youngster. But no, in all seriousness, back even when I first graduated from, because I was a part of it, when I first graduated from veterinary technology, that was back in 1996. I remember my third year, we actually had representatives from Hills and who else was it? Eukanuba and IAMS, I think. And they came to our class, told us all about nutrition and how their food was superior. They gave us pizza and coupons for free dog food, but basically they sent us on our way to say, like, when you go out in the world, little brand new vet techs, go out there and tell everybody how great our nutrition is, how great our food is. And that's what we did. I mean, if anyone asked me, I would be like, yeah, this is the best food out there. But in reality, back then, there was maybe 3 to 6 different kinds of dog food. There wasn't what we see now. Walk through a pet store now. Tell me how many different bags of dog food there are. And that's just in a pet's food. Now you can also order all your food online, and there's raw, and there's freeze-dried raw, and there's homemade, and there's all sorts of options for you. Back in the day when I was young and I was training my dog, there was one dog trainer in our area, and everybody went to her. She taught the same class to everybody, used the same tool for everybody. There were maybe 3 books in the library on how to train a dog, and they all said the same thing, right? So there wasn't internet gurus and National Geographic stars and all sorts. There was none of that. So we all basically just had the same information. And then insert this shift that happened, this marketing, and I'm going to keep saying that it's marketing because it really is marketing. This idea of purely positive or positive only or force-free, whatever. There's so many of them now. This idea that came out that was easy to sell because we're all dog lovers. Every single one of us are dog lovers. We all love our dogs. So it's very easy to sell this concept of only using positive, right? And it became this idea that that not just to encourage you to use positive reinforcement or only use positive, purely positive training techniques, but also that if you used anything from the other side, that meant abuse, punishment meant pain, and such, like, there was just such this negative connotation to the other side of the learning that we all have. And what has become of that, honestly, in my opinion, is that people remain stuck with their dog's behavior. And here's why. I want you to think of it this way. Think of it this way. Did you guys ever play the game, the hot and cold game? Did you ever play that when you were kids? Like your friend would go hide something, and then like you would come in, and then your friend would be like, "You're so cold. You're so cold." And then it'd be like getting warmer, getting warmer. "Oh my gosh, you're hot, you're hot, you're hot." And then you would be like, you'd find the thing, and then you'd be like, "Yay." Imagine that as your training for your dog, except you're never allowed to tell your dog when they're getting cold. You're only allowed to tell them when they're close, right? When they're hot. It's going to take them a lot longer without the other side of that equation. And because we have been inundated with marketing ploys and campaigns that have basically said purely positive or positive only is the only way to go. And if you're doing anything else, you're just mean and punishing and you're awful. We're now scared to say no to our dogs. We're now terrified that this idea that if we ever say no to them, that we're going to somehow break them. We're going to wreck our relationship. Our dog's going to be afraid of us. That's what is going on in the background. And what happens is that our dogs are now wandering around, playing the game of hot and cold, but only getting half the answers. And they're not being able to actually get the full picture. And so today I wanted to talk a little bit about the power of no, the idea that you can say no to your dog. And I'm here to tell you that not only can you, you should, right? And not to be, let me pull it up again because I'll get the quote again, because this is what I don't want. I don't want to give an ignorant, broad stroke statement. But so many times when people come up to me and they say things like, hey, Tracy, how do I get my dog to stop whatever, stop jumping, stop pulling, stop barking, whatever it is, the first thing that comes into my head is, well, just tell them no. Just don't let them do that. Just say no, right? That's the first thing that comes into my head. However, that's not the first thing that comes into other people's heads because they're like, I can't say no. So how do I get them to stop? How do I get my dog to stop doing this? So I'm here to tell you, it is as simple as you got to tell them no. But I know that you want to know how to do that now. How do I tell them no? Because I've been told I can't. Okay. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to actually start to make you feel better about being able to say no, because here's what I want you to know and understand. As someone who has and does live with multiple dogs, all different personalities, I will tell you that when I say no to my dogs, it literally is as simple as me looking at my dogs. Quite often, if they're doing something I don't want them to do, I'm going to scrunch up my face a little bit with a disapproving scowl, and I'm going to go, don't do that. Literally, that's what I will say. Don't do that. Because the words don't matter. They just know that my energy is like, what you're doing right now, stop that. Right? Don't do that. And even, because this happened to me this morning, so I can use this example, even when my dog is focused on something else. We were out in the woods this morning, and for some reason, Levi likes to, bite toads, or at least put them in his mouth. So then his mouth gets all frothy. But anyway, he was hyper focused on a toad. Like he was staring at a toad. And I said to him, hey, don't. And he didn't hear me because he was super focused on that. And all I had to do is I walked up to him and I literally touched him in the back end. Like I just touched him basically on his hip. And he turned and looked at me. It was just enough to break his attention. He turned and looked at me and I went, don't. And he went, oh, all right. And he followed me. So when you get this right, and when you're doing this all the time, when your dogs live in an environment where they get both sides of that picture on a regular basis, they are not offended when you say no. Every single time your dog offers you up a behavior, it is a yes or no question, right? Especially new dogs. I've said this before about, bringing home a new dog and whatnot. When you bring home a new dog and they're figuring out their environment, they're literally just asking you yes, no questions. What happens if I do this? Like right now, hey, no. Good. I wish I had I'm just kidding. You can go back up there. I wish I had a camera on that because then you would have seen it. That was literally my disagreeing with Rue, even though I don't really need to disagree with Rue. She was just about to get up on the couch. She's allowed on the couch. I was just doing it to prove a point. It doesn't matter because you didn't get to see it. Now she's lying on the floor like, fine. You know what? Oh, I should have done it on my phone and then I could put it in the group. Gosh. Anyway, my whole point was that right there, what you just heard was me disagreeing with Rue. I disagreed with her. She was about to get up on the couch. I disagreed with her. She's now lying beside me. Is she offended? Is she broken? Is she whatever? No, she's literally like, oh, okay. I usually get up on the couch. She's not even, I'll take a picture. I'm going to take a picture of it. I'll send it to you in the email. because you guys are friends of mine. There she is right there. She was about to get up on the thing. She was like, now she's just lying on the floor beside me, not offended. And all I said was, no, that was it. Okay. So when it is part of their repertoire, when they have yes, no all the time, they're not offended by it. It is literally just feedback. And because that feedback allows them to know what are the rules in this environment, they can settle in. Okay. So how do we do it? First and foremost, so there's 3 things that I want you to think about when we're talking about if we're going to incorporate no into our day so that we can just say no to our dogs. I don't know what this is. Sorry, I have to click something here. Sorry. First and foremost, it is consistency and accountability. And you've probably heard your trainer talk about that all the time. It's consistency and accountability, meaning every moment of every day, as soon as you wake up, every day, all day, every day, all day, all day, every day, every moment of every day, you are working on whatever you're working on with your dog. Let's say it's recall. If I have someone who says, I'm working on recall with my dog, from the moment you get up to the moment you go to sleep, you're working on recall. Every interaction that you have with your dog is not only an opportunity for you to get yes, no answers, but it's also an opportunity for you to be consistent and have accountability. And I will tell you flat out, here is the honest to God truth. I am lazy. I am the laziest trainer ever, right? I ask very little of my dogs because I don't want to reinforce it or be consistently accountable for it. So I will not tell my dogs to do something if I know that I'm not going to get off the couch and make them do it. I will not tell my dogs to get off the bed if I'm not going to make them do it. Because this is what starts to erode the accountability of your relationship with your dog. Okay. So you can be like me, just not ask a lot of them. But if you do ask, you got to follow through. And that's it. It's that simple. If you ask, you got to follow through. If you're not going to follow through, don't ask. Don't ask. Right? When I'm outside with my dogs, letting them out for the pee, you'll never hear me say the word come. Because come means you have to stop what you're doing and come right now. And I know I'm not going to go chase you down if you don't do it. So I will say their name and I'll be like, come here. Like I will sidestep around the command, but I won't use it unless I know I can back it up. So you have to be consistent and accountable all the time. And here's the big thing that is going to change your relationship with the word no. And it's going to make you feel good. That's why I want to share it with you. And it's something I don't think very many people think about. For every no that you use, you need to have at least 10 times the yes. And what that does for your dog is it builds up the contrast. And contrast is what is going to give your dog the clarity. So what do I mean by that? Because you're saying, because you're probably like, Tracy, you just talked about positive only and all that stuff. And I'm trying to be positive. I'm only doing positive. No, that's not what I mean. I'm talking about the day-to-day things in your dog's life. There are so many things that your dog does right. So many things. Look at your dog right now. Look at your dog right now. And if you are on Spotify, there's an option to leave me a comment. Right now at the 23, almost 24 moment mark of this podcast, look at your dog right now. And I want you to tell me, what was your dog doing right now? Look at your dog right now. What is your dog doing? Because I can tell you right now, I took a picture with my dogs. I'll take another picture. Here, I'm gonna give this to you as well. Here's me. This is me. Look at, I'm wearing the podcast things. Let me find if I can get them both in there. Wait, and my head. So hard. Okay. There's Dakota and Rue and me, right? We're podcasting right now. Right now, in this moment, both of my dogs are being so good. Oh my gosh, they're being good. Look at them. They're just sleeping. This would be an opportunity for me to say yes. Don't wake them up, but, say good girl. What a good girl you are. And as soon as I said good girl, oh my gosh, I got a little wag there. I'm like, oh, she's being a good girl, right? There are so many times during the day when your dog is being a good dog, and we don't necessarily recognize it. We don't take every opportunity we can to let them know when this is a yes, right? So when we do a world full of yes and only a little bit of no, that contrast is going to be meaningful, which means that when we start to work on the reactivity or whatnot, when we step outside the door and we have a dog that is scanning, searching, seeking, right? For whatever reason, they're fearful, whatever. If I step out the door and I have a dog that's scanning, searching, seeking, before I even take that first step, I'm going to get their attention and be like, hey, no, right? No, pay attention here. And when they do, we're going to reward that. If they can't, then we're going to go back in the house and we're going to try some more things. I'm going to create such a contrast that everything in your life that you're doing right is right, 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 right. That when I say no, it stands out to you as, oh, shoot, that's different. What am I doing wrong? Right? Contrast. There is so much clarity in the contrast. And there's so many opportunities throughout the day for you to actually reward and praise your dog, right? You can praise your dog for like getting a drink. Silly as that sounds. Your dog comes in, it's a hot day. If you say to them, hey, go get a little drink, and they go and do it, good job, buddy, good girl, whatever. You praise them for that. Good way to go. They come in, they go down, they lie down. Good girl. How to be calm, like whatever. You can find so many moments in your day to praise your dog that when you have to go, no, don't do that. They're going to be like, oh, that's different. Okay, what am I doing right now? That is not the norm, right? And that is going to start to change things for you. So powerfully, no becomes something that stands out for them, but no can be as simple as, don't do that, right? Don't do that. And then what do you want them to do instead? So in that example, if I take a dog out, that the moment that I go out there searching, scanning, seeking, let's not do that, right? I'm going to then maybe back up and go, okay, so I have a dog that's hunting, searching, seeking. What if I were to go out in the backyard and I create a game where we're hunting, searching, seeking with me? Hunting, searching, seeking with me leading the way. Hunting, searching, seeking, but I'm going to be there to reward it when it's there. So now I have a dog that still gets to do the hunting, searching, seeking. Maybe that's part of its genetic resume. I don't know. But if it is, I'm going to tap into that and I'm going to say, you can still do that, but we're going to do that with me here. And I'm going to be giving you some guidance here. Right? So that when I go out front and I say, we're going to go for a walk now, and he starts hunting, searching, seeking, I'm going to be like, don't do that. And it's not now, don't do it ever. It's don't do that now. And what do we do instead? We're going to pay attention to me. And if I don't get it in that moment, or if I get only down the front walk and all of a sudden there's a dog over there and he got like, he loses it. We're okay, that didn't work. Let's go back. We'll do it again. Right? Hunting, searching, seeking. But that no has to be there as a contrast to the yes. There's got to be a yes. For every no, there's got to be a yes. And if you can, 10 times that yes. How can I 10 times that yes so that no stands out as crystal clear contrast and clarity to the dog? Right? Because when we do that, the no becomes softer and softer and softer. Softer and softer and softer. I cannot stress that enough. I think the reason why I've never had a problem with no is because my no is literally just don't do that. No, don't do that. I wish you could see my face. It literally is me scratching at my face going, don't do that. Just don't do that. You know what? Because I'm going to do it for the thing. I'll see if I can take a picture of it here. That's my face. Now you have to sign up. Now you have to sign up for the email because I'm going to send you all these pictures of what I talked about in this podcast. Rue getting off the couch, me making the face like, don't do that. They'll all be in the email that you'll get, the note that we'll get. All right. That was a lot. We're coming up to 30 minutes. That was a lot. Let me know if you, my friend, are somebody who is dealing with a dog that is reactive or whatnot, and you are struggling. Let me know if that made sense. Because as I mentioned, my friend that I was talking to on the phone, my friend Karen Laws, who was here the other day, we were also talking about it. We really want to try to find ways to help, because if you are stuck for years, and that's what we hear a lot, right? People, I'm going to say this as a final thought. I have so much love and admiration for every single person in that, every single dog owner in that group, because their dedication to their dog, and the thing that amazes me is that they are dedicated to their dogs forever, and they're giving up so much of their life. They're giving up, they can't go on vacation. They can only walk late at night. They can't have friends over. Like, they have sacrificed so much of their life, but not just for like while we're training, like I for years. They've been working on this for years, and it hurts my heart, because I look around my house and I go, that's not what living with dogs should be. It shouldn't be that way. It's not supposed to be that way. And I want so badly to help you. I really, really do. All right. I should go. We talked a lot. I'm going to send those pictures to you. I'm going to send those pictures that I just took today for you guys. When I send you the note, it comes with this podcast on Monday. I'm going to send you the note on Monday. So make sure you're on the list so you get that note. And you can see the pictures that I took. As always, I want you to know how much your notes and everything mean to me. It does mean the world to me. And hey, if you do like this, be sure to do me a favor and let me know, right? If you're on Apple Podcasts, leave me a 5-star review, please. A written review would be lovely. It does push the show out to more and more people. If you can, share it with your dog loving friends, like my friend. I'm going to say her name again, and I hope I'm not like just ruining it, but like Maite, like Maite. She's doing that. She's sharing it with her friends. You can do that too. Be sure to do that. And as always, get out there today and be the person that your dog thinks you are, because your dog thinks you're amazing. And so do I. Have a great week, everybody. I will talk to you all next week. Bye for now. Oh, and one more thing. As always, this podcast is meant for entertainment and education purposes only, and should not replace hands-on professional training, especially if you are dealing with severe behavior issues with your dog. Please contact a professional in your area to help you with that. See you next week.